But listen, we got another amazing woman coming up. I'm gonna let you handle this. I'm gonna let you.
Let me handle this.
I'm gonna let you do it.
I told you I cannot introduce these gifted women.
You know what? Sometimes, we get these bios, right? And you look at the bio and you be like, yo, she do so much. She's so powerful. She's so this and she's so that. It's just sometimes you just got to skim through it, say what you got to say and let her do the rest because I think she got it.
I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, she's so doggone nice. They had to name her with all these names. Morgan, McCoy, Harris, Morgan, Avery, McCoy. She's amazing. And she does what I do. And you too, Lady D. Okay. She's an actress. I don't do I wrote a book and I'm famous. Ladies and gentlemen, to the stage. We're going to save her. She's going to close us out. Put your hands together for Morgan. How you doing, Queen? Good to see you.
I'm great. I'm honored to be on the Swag in the Morning show with Prince Cree and Lady D. I'm so happy to be with you guys today. So
let me tell you what Morgan did. I think she said this is a true story, y'all. Okay, and it made me feel like, yes. And Lady D wanted to do some hip hop. I'm only kidding. I'm lying. But right. Morgan said, this song is so catchy. I can't, it's in my head. And I'm like, yo, wow. It came from someone who has, to me, I ain't gonna say multiple personalities, but she has these characters in her head. So I don't know who of in Morgan said that has a, I don't know which.
None of them said it. It doesn't matter.
It came from her.
It doesn't agree. Yes.
Ask her while I have her on the stage. Who liked the song? No, I'm only kidding.
Who liked the song? All of them.
Welcome, Morgan. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Let me tell you something. Timing is awesome because I kept missing her. Lady. I booked her. I said, Lady, I got her. I've got her book. And then it was like, great. Was it supposed to be this week? I was like, oh, snap. And so I just got all caught up and I'm just booking. I'm like, you know what? I'm not letting her off the hook.
Right. No, you can't let greatness go.
No, I can't. She had an event is when I wanted her. And I was like, oh man, her event was on Tuesday or something, right? And it was during work time. So I couldn't get on. And I'm like so upset about that.
That's all right. We got it now. Let's
all right,
go.
So lady, it's on you now. I'm not saying nothing.
Well, Miss Morgan, please just tell us all about you. Tell us who you are. What is it that you do? If you can narrow all of that down.
If I could narrow it all down, I'm a storyteller. And I tell stories that advocate for the underserved, teach historic truths, and bring attention to mental health and physical health issues. And so as a storyteller, I utilize various platforms from my one-woman shows that we tour across the country. Now we're doing virtually to film, producing film and writing stage plays and writing films, telling and specifically focusing on underserved communities, teaching about history and advocating for mental and physical health. But I think sometimes those topics can be lofty, but storytelling has a way of penetrating the heart. So I'm a spoken word artist, I'm an actress, a writer, director, but all that combined, and a preacher, all that combined is storytelling. And I love communicating and telling stories that penetrate hearts and change lives.
Absolutely. Look, all right, I got another sister in my another sister in Q. Look at that. Listen, I mean, just by your voice, there is, confidence. There's something about the voice that catches people. Yes. And when you open, because you can look at somebody and they see one thing, but when you open your mouth, you hear something else.
I agree.
Yeah.
I hear the high pitched voice, but I also hear power. I also hear confidence.
Yes,
so tell me, let's focus on mental health, because right now this is where we at, being in the pandemic and all of that. I mean, me myself, just found myself probably about yesterday, I just began to break. Because you get on social media and you begin to, on all these social platforms, you see that people are, they're losing it. They're dying. People are dying, not just from other things. What would you say? What do you say? How are we supposed to survive right now? So how do we take our mental status?
That's such a great question. And I'm actually working on a project right now called How Do We Heal and How Do We Deal with COVID? And it's specifically a film that we're working with VCU Health Hub, and that's here in Richmond, Virginia, and some faith leaders. And I'm producing a series of films, short films that address the mental health challenges that the Black and Brown communities that we're facing as a result of COVID. But one thing that I would definitely advocate for is to talk about it. You know, a lot of times with COVID, especially because, especially if you have like autoimmune diseases or you find yourself nervous just about getting sick. And so you might find yourself even more quarantined and isolated. And that can be a dangerous space if we're not talking out what we're going through. And I think knowing that you're not by yourself, and it's been so amazing just to see as we've been doing research, as I've been writing the monologues and preparing the script, to know how many resources are available, support groups that are available, community opportunities virtually, just to get people engaged and talking. And so I think as of absolutely connecting and staying plugged in and not keeping those feelings to yourself, you got to talk it out. And I'm such an advocate for talking to a mental health professional or, you know, talking to a faith leader, you know, connecting and communicating with those that can help you. And know that you're not alone. You're not crazy. If you're a person that needs to talk to somebody, I have talked to counselors, and I'm so thankful for the opportunity to speak up and speak out about things that I've been facing. And I personally had a loss of a close family member who passed away due to COVID, and I needed to talk to somebody. You know, I was not okay. And it's okay to not be okay. And so that would be my suggestion. Prayer is so important, and talking it out is so important, and knowing that you're not by yourself.
Absolutely.
Well,
absolutely.
Lady, I agree 100%. It is one of the reasons why I do My Life Matters. I lost my auntie, who was the rock of my family. Like, she took her life. And being locked up in my studio, contemplating, I just wanted to get out of here. I just didn't realize that I was embarrassed to tell my brothers and them. I was like, I just didn't think I would have been classified as being weak. And when I take my life for the last time and God woke me up and I'm in the middle of my throw up, let me just be transparent and not to hug anybody, but he said, your life matters.
Wow.
And the rest is history. And I just said, well, God, what is it that you want me to do? I started to learn how to speak to him. One of my brothers in Christ who actually just lost his life. He just passed away not too long ago, came and got me and said, just talk to me in regular voice. And he's gone now. And I can hear him in my head now saying, don't you give up.
Yeah.
God, please, because I'm not here anymore.
Yeah.
You know, so Morgan, I definitely can relate to you, your story. Lady D, I mean, suicide knocks on our door because of this demons is after our gifts. And that's just the strength is us relying on God to some of these things.
Yeah.
I really, truly support what you're doing, and I can relate to your story.
Thank you.
I think one of the important things is for people to realize not only that they're not alone, but they're not crazy if you go and you speak to someone.
Exactly.
The time they say, you know, oh, you going to speak to someone, you're crazy. No, you're crazy if you don't go and speak to someone knowing that there's an issue that you cannot resolve on your own. So leaning on someone else and speaking to someone else is absolutely insane. You are in your right mind, so you want to get to safety as quick as you can. And if that's feeling everything that you know, and I mean that's how I felt yesterday, is that I pray. I know how to pray. I know how to go to God, but I needed to talk, and I needed to let that out. It's just like, oh, I can't. I just feel overwhelmed today. And it wasn't that, you know, a whole bunch of stuff that I had lost somebody, but I looked and I said, these people are losing loved ones. And it's just like, you see the post that says, I just talked to you yesterday.
Yeah.
Today you're not here. So, you know, it's just it's amazing, and you're needed. So the things that you do, your monologues, what I know that you say you do the monologues, and then do you have a certain topic that you just really stick to, or do you do all sorts of monologues?
All sorts of monologues. So I have three signature shows. One is called Evolution of a Black Girl from the Slave House to the White House. And in
Wow.
that show, I portray 12 women in American history from 1619 to present day. So I tell stories of Phyllis Wheatley and Harriet Tubman and Maggie Lena Walker and Madam C.J. Walker and Shirley Chisholm and Michelle Obama and Kamala Harris, a whole host of amazing women, and just really telling our story from 1619 to present day. And how our story doesn't start in slavery, and just really talking about the evolution of the Black woman and the contributions the Black women have made. So that's on the historical side. But I also have a show called She's Got Issues, which deals with sexual assault awareness, intimate partner violence, human trafficking, low self-esteem, depression, infidelity, and a lot of issues that we as women face, but we don't talk about, right? It's not appropriate to talk about. But with that show, it creates a platform to talk about these issues. We've done this show in churches and jails and women's conferences and colleges all across the country, to really incite conversation and bring healing. And we have therapy after that's available. And it's been amazing to see so many women who, I've had a 75-year-old woman who had blocked out her sexual assault and was wondering why she had so many issues through the years connecting with her husband. And after the show, she realized what happened and got counseling, was able to get healed, and so the show is about wholeness. And I also have a show called Care for Me, The Cry of the Fatherless, which is about adoption. And so in addition to those shows, we tell stories of organ donor. We tell stories of suicide prevention. Like now we're about to do monologues on COVID. And so this is really, God is really good. And I give all credit and glory to God. My first monologue was created when I was 16 years old in the back of my parents' car. The Lord just kind of gave me utterance of this monologue that changed my life. It's called The Way We Praise. And he birthed the drama ministry in me at that time. And I went to school to cultivate the gift, went to grad school to get further knowledge. But it's definitely something that God has given me, a knack for storytelling and creating monologues that tell information, offer education and entertainment, but also create and generate empathy and impact. And so I'm thankful. So we tell stories, and we've been commissioned by organizations to help tell their stories and communicate their stories as well.
That's absolutely amazing.
She's my cousin
I
or
love
twin.
what
And
you know.
she's
You trying to take her from me. Get out of here. She's my sister.
Everybody, we sisters.
My family is growing. I'm wait till I tell my mother, Ma, I got another sister.
If you say another thing that's sounding like you go on Beyonce, I am going to push the mute button.
You're gonna be trying to mute me, whatever. But I really adore the things that you do, and simply because I can relate to what you do. Me myself, I have this character that God had given me, and the character was just created sitting in the basement because we were doing a church play, and everybody who was in the play decided that they were either something else either came up, or they, someone had death in the family. So, the characters start falling off. So my twin brothers and I looked at each other like, okay, what are we gonna do? Because we sold tickets. So the play gotta go on. So I said, you know what? I'm just gonna be a nosy old lady. I'm gonna create the stage, and I'm gonna sit in the window, and I'm just gonna tell the story from the Bible. You just act it out as I say it. And it's just like, then I began to realize that it was a gift. So I can relate to your gift, and I can understand where you're coming from. I would definitely love to see these monologues and everything that you do. So just know that I am going to definitely be, one of those. I'm not going to be stalker-ish. I'm just going to be there every time you're doing something, because
yes, come on.
Like I need to be looking up to you and see how you do what you do.
Oh, thank you so much. I would love for you. We have some virtual shows coming up in April, so I'll definitely make sure you get the link so you can log on and see. Yes, I want to see your character too, though, Lady D.
She crazy.
Those are the best characters.
They are the best characters, And I said, God doesn't give me doesn't give me what to do until I put this coat on and I get in front of people. And then I'm like, you really said that? You really wanted me to do that? Now, does that happen to you? Do you do that and then say, wow, what happened?
Yeah, sometimes, with my shows, they're written already, but I do have a character called Mother Did You Know? And so she, you just never know what happens with Mother Did You Know? So that's kind of that character where you never know. I do have that character where it just pops up. It's all improv, really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's the best one right there. That's the one that, and I really believe that when you have those moments, it's just so that you can minister to whoever is there. We
Yeah.
can, and that's absolutely good. That works, and it does speak to people. But when you're doing the improv, and when it just drops on you and you just go with the flow, it's just
Yeah.
like. So it's somebody who absolutely needed exactly what you just did, even when you don't even understand it. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and with all of the issues that's going on in life now, is there one that you really let's say, is there one that you would rather talk about than the other? I mean, I know they're all important, but which one of them really, really tugs on your heart?
Which one of my shows or which one of my characters?
Which one of your characters?
Oh, it really I know might sound weird. It really depends on the day and it depends on the audience, even virtually. So we've been doing virtual shows since last April. And it's interesting because the Spirit of God knows who's watching, right? And what people need. And normally when you're live, you kind of, it depends on what the audience is pulling from you and you can feel that energy. But even virtually, there's one character that might rise up, one issue that might rise up and speak differently. So it really depends on the environment and also depends on what I'm going through at that moment, what's happening in the world at that moment. So every day, every time I do a show, a different character will kind of shine and it'll resonate a little deeper than others. But I think most recently, the most recent show that I did for a group in where was it, Chattanooga, Tennessee, a women's group in Chattanooga. My Magdalena Walker character rose up, and Magdalena Walker was the first African American female president of a bank. She's the first African American store owner of Broad Street in Richmond, Virginia, which is like the main street of Richmond.
Yeah.
This was during a time where Black women could not even vote. And so for her to do all of these things and, create her own newspaper and defy all of the odds that were stacked against her. And I think because I was speaking to a group of women that had various issues that were stacked against them. And she was a woman that found, due to diabetes, she ended up wheelchair bound. And she also, after she was wheelchair bound, she integrated the Girl Scouts. Okay, so this woman didn't allow anything to stop her. And she was a woman of faith, a woman of God. And so I think at that moment, because of everything that we're dealing with, there's so many blocks, there's so many doors that are closed for so many people. And what we see what's happening in society, it can be depressing. But she didn't allow what was happening in society to stop her. And so I felt like her story really resonated with the women of last week when I did the show. And the show before that, I have a character called Red, and she's a single mom of 3. And lost her dream, and I was doing it for a college, and at that moment, that character was the one that really resonated. So it really depends on who I'm talking to and what's going on.
Wow.
Wow. I'm coughing over here. In the morning, and I just
he choked up. He don't want to say it. He choked up. He just he trying to play like he not crying over here.
I love this song. I love y'all theme song.
My best. In the morning.
Yes.
I can't hear you guys. So I it seems that Prince Cree and Lady D are frozen, but I just am loving the swag in the morning and this phenomenal couple and all the phenomenal things that they do and giving opportunities for artists and people to come to their stage. They are incredible. And as I just was sharing right now during this time, it's so important for us to have opportunities and platforms like this to have positivity. So I'm really grateful that they gave me an opportunity to share a bit about my show. Evolution of a Black Girl from the Slave House to the White House, as well as She's Got Issues, The Care for Me, The Cry, The Fatherless, and also some of the film projects that we're working on. I did just recently produce a film called Stooping to Stand, which pays tribute and homage to our ancestors who were the domestic service workers, those washerwomen, those butlers, those that really were stooping so we would be able to stand and we could get an education and we could do things differently. And so I'm really grateful for that. And we got some really exciting projects that are coming. So if you want to stay updated and know about what's happening with me, please follow me on IG, Morgan Avery McCoy. Also, my Facebook is Morgan Avery McCoy Inc. And we have another movie that's coming out in a digital toolkit on talking about being single and saved and navigating that. It's a little bit of my own personal testimony before I got married, just some things that I went through. And I would love for you guys to know about that. It's going to be dropping April 30th. And I'm so excited about that. And so hopefully Prince Cree and Lady D might let me come back on to share a little bit more about that when it is time for it to be released. And I'm so grateful for this phenomenal, phenomenal couple and all the wonderful things that they do. So make sure if you have not downloaded their app, make sure you do it tonight. They are amazing. And not only do I love their theme song, I just love to see a couple working together, doing great things. They are the epitome of just Black love and just showing glowing and showing what it means to love one another and also to put other people on. So really celebrate them. I don't know what kind of what's happening. Technology can be a little crazy, but I think that they're doing some really awesome things and offering a great opportunity for all of us. So God bless you guys. My social media is at Morgan Avery McCoy. My website, if any of you who are interested in bringing the show virtually to your community, is morganaverymccoy.com. And again, my Facebook and IG is Morgan Avery McCoy. And make sure you download Swag in the morning. Definitely Swag Media Network. Download the app. Make sure you stay plugged in to all the great things they have in store for you. All right. God bless you guys.
All right.
You're right, Morgan. Listen. Girl, you can only imagine what was going on this side. But let me just tell you how I had some viewers that was absolutely keeping me abreast of what was going on. We had some power issues over on our end. But hey, listen, whatever you were saying on the other end, they got it.
I think the devil was busy, man.
They enjoyed it. So I was like, I hope she stayed there. I hope she stayed there until we get back. But thank you so much for sticking in there and not just going out. We appreciate your time.
Your professionalism.
Listen, listen, the professionalism kept on going. That monologue kicked in. I am absolutely glad you're still here. So listen,
Yes.
before we do this, babe, before we have any more issues on this end, I just want you. This is the part where we say the stage is yours. You know, thank you so much. Before you do that, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to hang out with us and to share all of the things that you do. We are definitely going to be following you and making sure that there are more people that's following you to see what's going on. This portion of the the night, we say to you, the stage is yours. Tell us what you want us to know and what you want to leave us with. How can they find you and all of that good stuff?
Yes, I, my social media, I did share that during our little break. So I shared my social media. So I would like to leave you guys with a piece from a program that I do called Finding the Harriet in You, if I may. But again, for those that might just be logging back in, it's at Morgan Avery McCoy is my IG. My Facebook production company is Morgan Avery McCoy Inc. And my website is morganmccoy.com. And I would love to connect with all of you. I was in the Harriet film. I played the character of Jessie. It was an honor to be in a movie about a real hero. And a lot of, Avengers are really popular, and Marvel and, DC Comics. And it's great. I love all those types of movies. But Harriet Tubman was a real hero. And so to be in a movie about this real hero was a blessing. And I was at a screening for the film, and they were asking the actors just different questions. And someone asked me, who is the next Harriet Tubman? And I felt like in that moment, it has to be in the spirit of God, where I said, I think that's the wrong question. We need to look in the mirror and find the Harriet in us. And I went on this journey to learn even more about her life as a historical interpreter. I already knew a lot, but I went to learn more and to look at how can I find the Harriet Tubman in me? How can I find the hero in me? And so I've been going virtually to schools and various organizations and doing a workshop and presentation called Find a Harriet in You, and looking at her life and 7 principles we can take to become the heroes that we need to see. Because it's time out for us always just pointing up to those that did something. It's time for us to step up and be something. And so I encourage everybody that's watching, that's listening, to find the Harriet Tubman in you, find the hero in you, find the change maker in you. God is giving you something, and that something is needed in this earth. You have a plan, just like Prince Cree said, your life matters. That doesn't just mean his life matters. All of our lives matter. You were given a purpose. And so I hope that you find that hero inside of you and be the answer to the problems of this world. So this monologue is just a snippet of what I do in the Finding the Harriet in You. I went down to the river, and I looked up in the sky and I said, God, if you're real, if you can see me, just show me something. I was tired of master beating on me, touching on me. I knew if he did it one more time, I was going to kill him. And I figured God ain't want me to kill no man, even if he be an evil man. So I was going to jump in that river. But right then, after I finished crying out to God, asking him to show me something, that's when I saw. They called her Black Sheep Moses, Miss Tubman. She asked me if I wanted to go to Freedom Land. Ooh, I was scared, but I started running. It was cold, but I kept on running, feet swollen and bleeding, but I kept on running. Ooh, when we got to Freedom Land, I about kissed the ground. I was so happy. Miss Tubman helped me find a job, got me in a boarding house. Now I work all the time, about 12 hours a day cleaning, but I get paid. Ain't nobody making me do what I do. I got my own bed, got my own room, and it's mine too. Oh, I love me, Miss Tubman. She a good woman. Then I heard about 7 months later that
Miss Tubman planned to go back down south. She was taking another trip, and I said, Miss Tubman, you know, if they find you, they're going to beat you. If they find you, they might cut your leg off. If they find you, Miss Tubman, they might kill you. Why you going to go back? Miss Tubman, why you going to go? And she looked at me and said, I'm not happy till all my people are free. Ooh, I got chills. Miss Tubman, it wasn't just about her being free. She wanted everybody else to be free. She got the closest person to loving God that I know. Is she all right with me? And that's just a little bit of that story of someone that encountered Harriet Tubman. But again, Harriet Tubman lived a life of sacrifice, of risking it all for other people. And I think that if we have more people that were willing to just to lend a helping hand to see what we could do to help somebody, our world would be a better place. So again, I hope that you guys find the Harriet in you. I would love to connect with you. Would love for you guys to see one of my shows. Yeah. So thank you, Prince Cree and Lady G.
So it inspired me. Oh my God, you don't even know. You don't even know. Yes, I'm going to look for the Harriet in me, girl.
Yes, find the Harriet in you. Yes, bless you guys.
Thank you so much for being with us.
It was just tore up.
Let's tour the stage up. You
get it. Time, Queen. You're welcome. On a real note, we love you to life. There's nothing you can do about it. Love us back.
Thank you, Morgan.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Bye.
Absolutely amazing.
And she kept us flowing when the temporarily, the thing went down.
That's how it works. That's how it works. Man. If everybody can learn to do that, because I'm over here like, what in the world we gonna do? But thank you. Shout out to my baby girl who kept me abreast. I appreciate you. Let me know what was going on.
Okay. All right, look. I'm blown away.
Find the Harriet in you.
Check it out. I brought some singers.
I was blown away.
They call the artists of war.
Right,
they're gonna sing, but before they do that, I'm gonna do this. Check it out. Watch me haters, watch me later. See, I'm 4 times 10 plus, so watch my gators. I'm God's twin, made in his image, my friend. You can Snapchat on me all day. My life matters to him. Let's go, Maya.
Can't believe the report of man, 'cause it's designed to take you off God's
next
land.
Next week, coming to the stage, incredible, gifted Natasha Bivens, actually Scott Bivens from Escape. She's coming to the stage. Swag in the morning, y'all. Ayana Bean from BT Plus, Trap Bean. She's doing big things. She's coming to the stage. Same game. Next Thursday, baby.
Speak to him.
So you just trying to tear by stage.
People dying in the street because the color of their skin. So busy hating one another.
Natasha
we're brothers and we don't matter.
One of the lead singers is coming.
I know it sounds hopeless. Trust I've got good news.
Got a lot of stuff going on.
Precious in his eyes and he will
talk about the verses battle between them.
You may think it's over, but
she got a gospel project.
Life can't seem to get you down. So much depression and you're feeling suicidal. Know that he can turn your life.
The whole crew will be back next week. The world famous Swag.
That's if they don't jump on you. I'm just saying.
I'm good. There's a reason for my
the method to the madness.
In the morning, wake up in the morning, wake up in the morning, wake up in the morning.